Class is now in session. Education, information, informative to oneself.
Young black boy,
History, past, present.
Can't stop, ma. You ain't got time. Erase my mind, but still I shine, and it gets to me. But thinking about our history, they took away our books. Now everything seems like a mystery. Oh, we went from having gold to being sold. Now we fighting for the right to save our souls. Just remember, we're still mad ill. They kill Emmett Till. If we all stand together, we create Black Shield.
Education of 146,000 days, 400 years, mysterious tears, scars bound to stay. Culture stolen, reprimanded, names thrown away. Revolutionist movement came because this was bound to change. Chains, shackled, obtained, pronounced slaves. Separation of families and crucified in the rain. Brainwashed to believe there was no hope to attain. Then we staged the war and the victory we have claimed. Black education, artillery, know your history. Because an ignorant soul is only a mystery. One hand, one soul, one stand, one goal. United as one army and divided if we fold. Black shields, new mission. Black shields, one vision. Black shields, reliving. Black shields, the times we living in. Because it was MLK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and the rest who all paved the way. Digest, materialize, education of our emancipation, proclamation of our freedom in the sacred pages. Inform yourself of the movement and its many stages. Don't take this biased respect to all different races. Just educate self of all the many different phases. Black shields, black love, must improve our situation.
Can't stop, ma. You ain't got time. Erase my mind, but still I shine, and it gets to me. Thinking about our history, they took away our books. Now everything seems like a mystery. Oh, we went from having gold to being sold. Now we fighting for the right to save our souls. Just remember, we're still mad ill.
They killed Emmett Till.
If we all stand together,
we create Black Shield.
Can't stop, ma. You ain't got time. Erase my mind, but still I shine, and it gets to me. Thinking about our history, they took away our books. Now everything seems like a mystery.
Black people.
We went from having gold to being sold. Now we fighting for the right to save our souls. Just remember, we're still mad ill. They killed Emmett Till. If we all stand together, we create Black Shield. Cotton fields to the bill, saints in New Orleans. I'm here to tell you about a legacy that has been stolen. Actually, this is a message. If they laugh at me, I spit something and shake their ass about an apathy. My elders told me age 7, get your education. You gotta take this.
They ain't gonna give you reparations.
I did that college shit and now I'm spitting knowledge
on another continent. I'm blasting off like I'm a rocket ship.
Fred Hampton, UEP, remember Stephen Biko, Patrice the Moment, and Kwame Nkrumah.
For the people.
Nat Turner, David Hill, even Bobby Seale. I bet Malcolm X and Martin, they dreamed of Emmett Till. Revolution of self, elevate the mind state. Boost up the reading score, down with the crime rate. Clown with the nouns great, profound and it sound great. Marching all in unison until we make the ground shake. One love, one stance, one God, one aim. Reverse mental conditioning until we all become sane. Whenever you say something real, they always coming after you like Dracula. Still say unify the diaspora. Senegal to Detroit, Eskimos and the Haitians. Compton to Berlin, Hawaii to the Bayesians, the Europeans and Asians, patient, staging,
a worldwide city.
Listen, Black Shield,
new mission.
Can't stop.
All right, look, top of the top. Y'all see I got my mic up here now with me today. In 10-bit. Let me make sure everything is clear. Y'all can hear me nice and clearly. Everything is gravy, which it seems to be. You know, top of the top, happy Malcolm Sunday to y'all. Y'all know, like, shit. First, we saw Phillip on Saturday, and now we see Phillip today. What the fuck, Phillip? You know, let's go ahead and do the quick little spiel before we go ahead and get this here session started. You know, you tapped into the top of the top with King Phillip under the Make a Culture Move podcast, where I'm talking about the issues that I see in the community that I'm not supposed to talk about. All right. And the minute I start talking about them, folks in our community who, you know, just bringing these conversations to the table should be like, okay, I hear you, nigga. Let me start making some moves so I know you ain't talking about me anymore. That's what it should be doing. You know, not to the point of, oh, this nigga out here talking shit about me. I got something for that nigga. Nah, it ain't about that. You know what I mean? If the shoe fits, though, you know what I mean? Period. Flaunt that motherfucker, period. You intimate. But at the same time, too, make the adjustments. You know, do what you need to do to make the adjustments so that the shoe won't fit. because what I'm saying is hard conversations. These topics, these discussions are hard are hard to be heard, especially if it's you who's out there that's like that. All right, it's going to be hard to hear what's being said, especially if you're out there like that. And I'm also saying too, I didn't have to go out and do a whole lot of research to back up what I'm saying. You know, my lived experience gives me the credibility that makes me the expert in what I'm talking about. All right. So I ain't have to go to college, get millions and millions of degrees, have millions and millions of letters after my name and stuff like that. But it would be dope one of these days. I see that as a vision. You know what I mean? So, but I'm saying I ain't have to do all that just to make me credible, make me an expertise in this field, like some of these white experts and some of these black experts do. Intimate. There's something else I know that I'm missing. It'll come back to me, I'm sure it will. If you have not done so far, go ahead and check out the makeachessmove.org website. All right, makeachessmove.org website. You got probably about 2 more days before we switch this whole thing up, because we're getting ready to go with a whole new platform and everything like that. So, you know, check us out in another 2 days just so you can see the difference. You know what I mean? All things social at Macam 303. All right, and what that means is put facebook.com in there. Go /Macam 303. You will find us. Same thing with the Instagram.com /Macam 303. You will find us. Twitter thing /Macam 303. You will find us. Pinterest /Macam 303. You will find us. The YouTube channel /Macam 303. You will find us. All right. But don't just stop there. You know what I mean? If you have a business that you want us to put out there for you, you know, by all means, you know, right now is the time to get locked in. You know what I mean? We don't have millions and millions of followers right now. So right now is the time to get locked in. All right. Because when we start having them millions and millions of followers, we might start charging y'all type of thing. You know what I mean? So saying all that to say, shoot your business IG our way so we can go ahead and throw that on there as well. You know, go ahead and tap into my man at East End Visions, the Young Huff. You know what I mean? At East End Visions _apparel. You know what I mean? Get you some East End shirts, some East First shirts, some Bells First shirts, some Hills First shirts, some ACO First shirts. You know, everything, it comes back down to the unity. You know what I mean? We got to stay under one. We got to be unified. We can't let nothing separate us. All right. Go ahead and stop at the Gems for Queens too. Get bedazzled on out. You know what I mean? She got them juatos for y'all. You know what I mean? All that. Go ahead and stop by the Gems for Queens. All right. Holla at my mans at the End Game Associations. You know what I mean? They doing real big things with the culture and chess. You know what I mean? Black folks, our culture and chess and the cryptocurrency. All right. So you know, that's you know, they move in that direction. And then holla at homie Tal. You know what I mean? Body Love by Tal. You know what I mean? She'd get your lips right. She'd get your body right. You know, she got these soaps too. She got the scrubs. She got all that. You know what I mean? Holla at her. And then get your body right. Sure. All right. So let's tap in. You know, so our last conversation, I was talking about on my lips so I can drink some of my coffee. I was talking about I was looking at the division, the line, you know, when it comes to ethics, when it comes to morals, when it comes to doing what is right, you know, who draws that line? You know what I mean? Where does that line get drawn? And to be more specific, you know, I was talking about how can I put this? You know, how there's a lot of folks who won't do anything around their mother. All right. There's a lot of dudes who I know personally You know, they won't curse around their mom. They won't smoke around their mom. They won't drink around their mom. They won't do none of that stuff around their mom. But on the flip side, they out there in the streets hustling, dealing, stealing, killing. You know, that I'm sure that their mother would not approve of, or that their mother would be like, nigga, I don't know who this heathen is out here, but he ain't none of mine. That little philanderer, you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, we don't do these kind of things in front of our mothers, but we put out an energy like, you know, our mothers don't know shit about this, when our mothers are the ones who influenced that behavior. Your mother's the one that raised you, nigga. And then I was looking at also how you won't do certain things around your mom, but you will do those certain things around your dad. Like, what makes that acceptable? You know what I mean? What makes it acceptable to curse, drink, and smoke around, or to curse, drink, smoke with your dad, but not with your mother? You know what I mean? That's certain. That's kind of like, again, everything that I'm speaking on is stuff either personally related to me, connected to me, or I've seen it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and I'm speaking firsthand. All right. How is it acceptable for y'all to do certain stuff around y'all's pops, but not around y'all's moms? That's where I was going on yesterday. That's where I was going yesterday. You know, getting those conversations, getting those questions asked, putting them out there to the universe and stuff like that. And you know, where I wanted to touch on today was, you know, there's still a disconnect. All right, there's still a disconnect. You know, when it comes to, and when I'm speaking and talking on relationships, I'm talking like strictly friendships type of thing. You know what I mean? Straight platonic, straight, none of that other shit. All right. When it comes to friendships, you know what I mean? How much do we tolerate? I'm gonna ask that. How much do we tolerate when it comes to friendships? I mean, I know that there are lines drawn. There's very, you know, no tolerance when it comes to me and friendships. If you put your hands on your woman, if you put your hands on your like, you beating your children, especially your daughters and stuff like that, and you're the man, you know, I have a hard no when it comes to that. You know, I don't like to associate or affiliate myself with people who like to put their hands on their women. You know what I mean? I think that's some of the most cowardliest shit a nigga could do, period. You know, you a whole bitch, in my opinion. You know what I mean? A punk ass bitch at that. You know what I mean? Like a whole hoe out you, intimate. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But like I said, I got a hard no on that shit. I got a hard no on. I don't fuck with thieves. I don't fuck with thieves at all. That's another hard no. Come to me on some stealing shit. Come to me on some, oh yeah, I just pulled this one leg. Oh yeah, it's another hard no. You know what I mean? So when it comes to, again, this is just some of the hard no's for me. You know what I mean? What are we tolerating when it comes to these friendships? Because I know recently that, you know, I'm reading a book. It's called The Four Agreements. You know, I've read it. Shit. I say honestly, I probably read it about 10 times in the past 10 years, because I've been reading it once every year for about the past 10 years or since it came out. All right. I'm saying that to say I'm reading the Four Agreements, you know, and I'm trying to live according to those four agreements. You know, one of the agreements, be impeccable with your word, Never take anything personal. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Those are the 4 agreements. As easy as they sound, all right, as easy as those 4 agreements sound, those are some of them. Those it's some of the hardest things that I ever done in my life. All right, as easy as being impeccable with your word is, it's some of the hardest things that I've had to do in my life. But I've noticed too that the more that I've been living according to those agreements, the better that my life has been getting. So I'm saying that to say too, even with it being hard, even with it being challenging, I'm seeing the outcomes. So I'm saying that to say too, I've also witnessed that I've been putting the energy, I've been putting the energy of expectation on other people to meet those same agreements because I'm meeting them myself. I'm speaking more of dominance. I'm speaking more, permanent language. I will, I can't do that. Just stuff that's more permanent instead of sometimes, maybe, that type of shit, that sometimey language, that, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, that speaks to me being more impeccable with my words. So I'm saying all that to say too, with me being more impeccable with my word, this is just the example, and me putting that expectation off on other people, that the letdown has been extreme. And it's not nothing huge. All right. It's nothing huge. Because I fall victim to it. Some of the behaviors, some of the energy, that I'm speaking of is as a friend. Again, if I'm if as a friend, if I'm checking in with you, you know what I mean? And just to check in with you to see what's up, I hit you on the morning. I don't get nothing back until that afternoon. As a friend, I know we all busy. I know we are all busy. But how much do we accept when it comes to communication like that? Do we accept the fact that, hey, they still hit me back? I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Where there's gaps, it ain't no I'm trying to crack. You know what I mean? It ain't no trying to, do anything like that. It's on some genuine, how you and them babies doing? How's business? How's your health? Let's go get some lunch. Let's get away from that. Let's get away from that. Step away for a minute. And then that's another thing. If you're making, again, if you're speaking in dominance, if you're speaking in more of a permanent stance, and you're speaking with like assurance, and if the people who you're trying to be friends with are wishy-washy, I may do this, or I'll let you know when I find a babysitter, or nah, nothing. How much are we accepting? It's not bad to not accept it, but we also have to keep in mind of not taking anything personal, because I'm gonna tell y'all, when it comes to these 4 agreements, not taking anything personal, that is one of the hardest things for me. All right, especially when it comes to time. If you've tapped in with me at least once, then you've heard me mention the importance of time, how we don't get time back, how if I'm very, like, that's, I believe, like, that's one of my strengths and one of my weaknesses. You know what I mean? My strength, because I'm very punctual. I'm always assured time. You can always count on me to be there on time, if not earlier than on time. All right. And at the same time, with me and time and how the way that I move, I expect people to respect time and respect other people's time the same way that I respect time and other people's time in the same way. You know what I mean? But, folks, they don't, it's coming down to folks don't give a fuck. They think that being 2 minutes late is okay. They think that being 3 minutes late is okay. They think that being 15 minutes late, there's not a problem with that. They think that. And again, it's okay. But again, it comes down to with these friendships, how much are you willing to accept? How much are we willing to accept when it comes to friends? And again, I'm talking specifically um platonic friendships. I hope I'm saying that shit right. You know what I mean? Because I got partners I've been locked in with going on 30 years now. You know, um, that speaking of, I got a session with one of them and his kids today. You know what I mean? Um, to the point where, I mean, there's an understanding, like some shit you shouldn't need to say. Some shit you shouldn't even have to like mention, like like if you say this, why are you not doing what you say? That's another part of being impeccable with your word. And again, with me putting that expectation off on people, that's done that is doing absolutely nothing for me. Absolutely nothing for me. So again, it comes back down to how much are you willing to accept? It can come down to with you cutting everybody off. Like it can be to the point um where you don't deal with people on that level. And I'm speaking specifically for me and about me. I'm a very relationship type of person. You know what I mean? If we gonna do business, or before that, I would want to build a relationship first. If I come in contact with you, that means that I see value in you until you show me otherwise. If I come to you, that means that I have a plan that includes you because I see, a good hustling spirit. I see a good structure. I see a good, a good gritting. You know what I mean? Like shit until I'm seen otherwise. So people, they place certain value on themselves, and that's another part, that's another conversation, that they feel like they can just show, they can just do, they can just move however the fuck they want, because the value that they placed on themselves is higher than the value that other people place on them. Like it's almost like, so check it out, like when I go into a new school, I had to check myself, because the students in this new school and these new communities, they do not know me. So I cannot go in there with the same position that I would have as if I was in a school that we've been partnering with for the past 5 years, where the community know me, the students know me, administration know me, teachers, all that. Versus I'm in a new community, I have to build it up. I can't come off of a reputation that people may have heard about me. Our reputations can change from mouth to mouth. It's like that game telephone. And one way I try to make sure that my reputation don't change is to stay consistent. Is to stay consistent. When I fall off, I need somebody to help. I need somebody to support me. That's what I need if I fall off. I don't need nobody to see me falling off and then distance themselves. Hey, shit, I do that by myself. I distance myself when I'm in a fucked up situation. If I know y'all's love language, again, y'all's love language is speak to relationships. And again, we're speaking relationships across the board. There's a disconnect. All right. Love languages speak to relationships across the board. And if I know your love language is physical touch and quality time, I'm not going to ignore those. I will not ignore those. I'm dropping jewels. I'm dropping jewels left and right. Intimate. I am not going to ignore those. If I know what your love languages are. The value that we have in each other's lives, that shit changes as well too, because even though like I may have said before on here, even though I may want, even though I bring people to walk along my journey with me, those same people may not want me to walk along their journey with them. And the moment I accepted that was the moment that it was like, okay, that's all right. That is all right. That don't mean that you see yourself of lesser value. That just means that at a time you have no value to that person. You have no value to that person, and that is all right. That is all right, because there are many other people, there are plenty other people there who will definitely see that value. Who will definitely see that value. So if, I'm saying all this to say too, with me trying to live my life, making the best attempt to live my life as according to these 4 agreements, I fall short. These 4 agreements and living life as according to God and how God will want me to live, I fall short plenty of days. And one thing that my younger cousin has been telling me was to have grace, so have grace for yourself. And I'm asking y'all to show a little bit of grace towards me as well. Nick ain't perfect. I mess up, and at the same time, there are reasons for why I move like I do, say what I say, blah, blah. For anybody who I've disrespected, and I feel like I've disrespected, I can't apologize for it because I said what I said and I meant it at the time. So if y'all want to, and the thing is too, recently I haven't been having the I'm not even going to say the opportunity, because I've been in a space where I've been trying and making attempts to have conversations with folks before I just cut everything off. But then, it gets to the point where it seemed like a conversation won't happen. That's when I talk to God, I make my peace, and then I just keep it moving. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep talking disconnects. All right. But am I back in there? Let me make sure. Okay, I think I'm back in there. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. Let me make sure. All right. But like I was saying, some things to you shouldn't need to say when it comes to these relationships. And I don't know, I just feel like it gets to a point like if you do have to say certain things, or if you feel like, damn, why do I even have to say anything? Or why like you get to that point, you know what I mean? What's the best move? That's me asking, seeking support. What's the best move? All right, I'm gonna leave this session on that question. All right. Hey, y'all, Malcolm out there.